Welcome to episode number 3 of the vlog, and I'm happy to have you guys here. And I want to share my personal story with you guys because I literally went from being a small dude that was skinny, really had no muscle mass growing up, to being picked on all the way to literally getting chubby out of shape because I bulked in the wrong way trying to pack on lean muscle mass. And obviously I went down the wrong road as well. And then I actually reverted back and lost all that weight and then got back to where I was looking to go. So I want to share my personal story with you guys. I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. Now, in being said, guys, please learn from my mistakes, right? I literally went from being 150 pounds soaking wet all the way up to 210 pounds, getting really chubby and out of shape, and you don't have to do that, right? There's a misconception on when you're trying to pack on muscle mass that you need to pack on massive amounts of weight. Doesn't need to happen. And that is what I ended up doing, right? I was tired of getting picked on. I was tired of being the skinny, small guy. So eventually, I literally did it the wrong way. I did the thing you would call a classic dirty bulk, packed on a ton of extra weight, and it didn't help me in any way, shape, or form. Actually, it set me back by actually a few years. In doing so, I packed on all this weight, I got really chubby, and then I had to actually learn how to go in a proper caloric deficit to get to where I was looking to go. In return, I actually just created more fat cells in my body, and when I ended up getting ripped, I still had some extra skin that needed to be tightened up. So I went from this to this, and now to this. And I want to share this personal story with you guys because I think you guys could learn a lot, and I think I do know a thing or two now with helping hundreds of clients around the world, and simply just being able to maintain a lean physique with a relative decent amount of muscle year round. And I want to share with you guys on how I do that. So simply what I do now and how I maintain where I'm at currently is I prioritize protein first at every single meal, right? So prioritizing protein is going to keep you satiated. It's going to allow you guys to maintain your lean muscle mass, which is what you're wanting to do, whether you're trying to pack on weight or lose weight. Protein is going to always remain constant and relatively high. What I personally like to do is at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And I actually like to go a little higher than that for myself personally, because my goal is to pack on as much lean muscle mass as I can. And when you got adequate amounts of protein, that's going to allow you to build, recover, get stronger, and actually speed up your basal metabolic rate. So as you guys may know, the more lean muscle mass that you have, the more calories that you are going to burn at rest, meaning you actually have more metabolic flexibility. So prioritizing protein is going to be a huge key component. Now, another thing that I personally do is I always prioritize minimum 30 grams of protein at every meal, high quality protein, because at the end of the day, it comes down to the bioavailability of amino acids. And if you want to be able to tap into protein synthesis, you actually need to tap into a leucine threshold of 2.4 grams. To get 2.4 grams of actual leucine, you're going to actually need 30 grams of high quality protein to be able to make protein synthesis occur. Now, and that's off the studies off of Dr. Ronald Lehman. Now, the reason why I wanted to share that with you is because so many of us actually undereat in protein, and we're wondering why sometimes it's actually hard for us to hit our goals. Whether your goal is weight loss or whether your goal is packing on lean muscle mass, I would definitely recommend prioritizing that protein. It's going to keep you satiated, allow you to build, repair, get stronger, and also keep cravings at bay. My step number 2 would be prioritizing your fat. Now, we need fat for our hormones to actually work properly. Now, what I personally do is I always prioritize my protein and my fat because they're both essential macronutrients. Now, when it comes down to the fat, right, if you are trying to get a little leaner and you are trying to get a little more ripped, yes, you can take your fat a little lower. But me personally, I never like to take it lower than 20% of my overall intake. For the reason being, I just don't feel as good, my libido doesn't feel as good, my energy doesn't feel as good, and I honestly swear that my hormones don't feel as good because every single time I get my blood work, when I take my fat too low, my testosterone starts to naturally come down on my free T. So what I personally like to do is keep it around the 30% mark almost all the time, whether I'm losing weight or trying to pack on lean muscle mass, and that's what allows me to feel best. Now you can play around with it, you can go high, you can go lower, but with that being said, something I want everyone to really understand is you need fat, right? Fat is an essential macronutrient and it is there to help you. So please do not be totally afraid of it and don't demonize it, right? And actually make sure that you're getting your adequate amount of fat. And the way I like to do it, right, is I get it through animal protein, I'll get it through animal fat like lard, good healthy butter, ghee butter, olive oil, avocados, right? Look it through good healthy sources. Me personally, I actually stay away from like the canola oils, the vegetable oils and stuff like that. For the reason being, so our omega-6 to 3 ratios don't get too far skewed. And maybe we can do a video on that later on and talk about the inflammatory response of the body. But for now, let's keep it simple and make sure you're prioritizing your fat. And then having lots of good fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are not gonna make you fat. They are high in antioxidants. And actually what I like to do is I like to actually pair fruit with my meat. I came across a few studies that it shows when your consumption of protein with some fat is relatively high in your fruit consumption, it allows the absorption of the antioxidants to be a little more bioavailable by the body, which I thought was pretty cool. So you guys can use that to your advantage. The other thing though, at the end of the day, we know we got proteins, we know we got fats, and then we got carbohydrates. All my remaining calories can come from carbohydrates. I fill the rest in with carbs. And depending on what your goal is, whether that is to lose weight or pack on weight, it comes down to a calories in versus calories out, right? And we know that. But carbs at the end of the day are not gonna make you fat. So prioritize them, have them. It's the highly refined processed carbohydrates. And I'm just sharing with you guys what I personally do. So right now I am currently 180 pounds. And if I simply want to lose weight, well, I need to be in a caloric deficit. So let's use the example of 2,000 calories. If my maintenance was 2,000 calories, I would personally set my caloric deficit up at around 1,800 to start off with, because I'm not trying to lose massive amounts of weight really, really quick. And I feel this is where many of us fall short or have issues, is we try to lose weight too quick. You don't want to lose weight super fast. You want to lose it in a moderate amount, in a lifestyle that is sustainable for you so you can continue to get to your goal. In doing so, implementing some resistance training, and what will happen is you'll retain lean muscle mass, build lean muscle mass, and lose unwanted weight, which is fat. That is the weight that we want to lose. We do not want to lose muscle mass. Now in a deficit, for the reason of not wanting to lose muscle mass, I don't ever push a deficit on myself or anybody I work with below 500 calories, because I do not want the body thinking that it's not going to get the amount of food consumption that it actually needs to be able to maintain the lean muscle tissue that it already has. Now the same goes for packing on weight. And this is what I did wrong, guys. When I went from super skinny to trying to pack on muscle mass, oh boy, I was doing things so wrong, right? Set up your caloric surplus 200 calories more than maintenance. Start there. It's gonna be a process, and understand this takes patience, consistency, and discipline. And in doing so, you will get to your goals, but it is not gonna happen overnight. The only time it ever happens overnight is if you're taking extra things like PEDs. And if that's where the route you wanna go, great, all the power to you, right? And that's your personal decision and that's your personal choice. But for everybody that doesn't wanna do that, well, understand it's gonna be a patient road, and it's gonna be a road of just simply growth. And the more consistent and the more discipline and the more patience that you have, and you understand that this is a lifestyle and not just something that you're gonna do for 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna grow and go to the direction. So start with a small caloric surplus, 200 calories, and if it's still not moving in the direction of where you wanna go, slowly you can implement more calories. The max I personally ever go is 500 calories above my maintenance, because I'm not trying to pack on unwanted body fat. And in doing so, I'm trying to pack on lean muscle tissue. So when you guys are packing on lean muscle mass, if you guys have absolutely amazing genetics and say you guys literally just start working out, I think it's safe to say that you guys might be actually able to pack on like 8 pounds of muscle mass in a year if you're natural. Now I'm saying this is if you've never lifted before and you've really never looked after your diet in any way, shape, or form. Now if you're an experienced lifter and you're natural and you got really great genetics, I think it's fair to say, and you're really knocking everything out of the park, if you can get like 4 to 5 pounds in a year, you're doing really, really good. And understand that, right? Packing on lean muscle mass is very, very hard. And now when it comes to weight loss, right? Don't be going for the huge 20 pounds in a month. And the reason why I say that is because when you're losing like 20 pounds in a month, not all of it is gonna be fat. Some of it is going to be muscle. And if we can lose it in a slower amount of time, what is going to happen is we're going to retain that lean muscle tissue, and that's going to allow us to be able to burn more calories at rest, have more metabolic flexibility, and allow us to be able to hit our goals later on without a massive amount of restriction. So let's look at it from that standpoint. So if your goal is to lose weight and you're losing like say 4 pounds in a month, you're doing awesome, right? Stay with it and stay the course and make it happen. And I just wanted to share those tips with you guys because this is information that I personally had to learn over the years, and I never really attached the information to my personal goals for many, many years, and it put me in a world of ups, downs, left, rights, and we all know, right? On your way to success or on your way to your journey, it's never a straight and narrow path. And if I can help you guys straighten that path out just a little bit by you guys watching this video, then job well done, and I'm happy that you guys got to check it out. The other thing, if I could leave you guys with anything, focus on trying to get lean muscle mass on your body. What I'm saying is do some resistance training. Doing resistance training is so good for your health, whether your goal is weight loss or packing on lean muscle mass. Please do it. And if you know you've never did it before and maybe we're nervous going into the gym, that's totally okay, right? The gym is a super safe place, and I can guarantee every single person in there is working on themselves, and they'd be happy to help out in any way, shape, or form because they want what's best for you as well. So go in there, don't be afraid of the gym, and simply implement some resistance training. If you've never did resistance training, simply just start out 2 to 3 days a week, right? Myself personally, I only work out 4 days a week. And doing and implementing these tips is simply what has allowed me to literally go from skinny to chubby to where I'm at now. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's some information that I wish I would have known beforehand, before trying to make it to this goal. And if I would have known this beforehand, it would have made it a lot easier for myself. So this is my personal story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And please take it and run with it. And thank you for watching episode number 3 on how I went from skinny to chubby to where I'm at now. And you know what? If you guys got a goal, you can attain it. Just understand that it's going to take some patience, consistency, and some discipline. And if you stick to the course and you really make it something that you want, and you make it into a lifestyle and attach an emotion to it that really lights you on fire every single day, you will hit it. And I personally believe in you. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you for watching this video.